What up, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Fencer, Princer, SoundCloud, Reddit, Aquarius, and All Points Army. This is my little, it's not a war story, but it's just something that happened to me in the military. Okay, so I was in 32nd ADCOM, AAD, and I was in Germany. Then I came stateside, and I was in a unit that I forgot about the unit. It was such a terrible experience. But nonetheless, it was an MP unit, and we was in Fort Riley, Kansas, the third largest fort that we have here in America. And I hated it. Hated the officers. I was a cook, 94B. So, basically, when the war started, I was kind of in trouble with my commanding officer who you know, I worked for a jail, I cooked for a jail, and my captain was a real racist bastard, and then my sergeant turned on me, and then my first sergeant turned on me, and the first sergeant was he was an E7, but he was just doing what he was told to. You know, the captain came down on him, and that was it. He didn't stand up to him or nothing. And then the E5 who was over me was like, he was a black dude. He was like, oh man, I got a family, pal. You know, we can't be messing around and blah, blah, blah. You know, so basically he was like, I'm going to stick it to you because I got a family to feed. You know, he's an E5. So basically they knocked me down from an E4 to an E1. They Article 15 me. And when they did that, because of this asshole captain, when they did that, the war had, you know, there was always threats to go to war. Then Bush finally pushed us into the war, Desert Storm. And so after I was going through my Article 15, the war had started, and I had a best friend who also had the same name I do, Anthony. And he came to me and told me he was going to war. Now, here was my rationale. If I go to war and I die, my mom will get money from my death, because you sign off on this piece of paper that pretty much says if you die, then, you know, your next, or the person, your beneficiary, will get proceeds. I don't know if it's still that way. I'm sorry. I'm tired. But nonetheless, so my best friend was leaving, and he was in a unit, and his unit was not far from mine. So my immediate response was to go and see his officer. So I walked into his barracks, and I saw his commanding officer, who was a captain. But I saw him walking down the barracks. I didn't go to his office or nothing. And I stopped him right there cold, and I said, "Are you the commanding officer, you know, of this unit?" And he was like, "Yeah." I said, "Take me with you." I was very informal, almost not very polite, but I wanted to go with my best friend because I figured I would be okay. I could get away from this unit. Mind you, I only had like a month or so left, but that was my best friend. And that's what was going through my head. My family would be okay, but my best friend is leaving to go to fight a war that neither one of us know anything about. And if you shoot at him, you're going to shoot at me, and I'm going to shoot back. And that was all that was in my mind. I had no reason to be upset at the Iraqi people. All I know is I wanted to protect my friend. That's it. That was my whole modus operandi. And I did whatever I could. But nonetheless, the officer thought about it for a minute, and he noticed the determination in my voice. He seen it in my face. Like, who approaches an officer like that? I don't even think I saluted him. I just ran up on him like, yo. Like as if I was back in the hood or something, and ran up on somebody. I just walked up on him like, and started talking to him like I knew this dude. Never saw him again in my life, and never saw him before that day. And but the thing about it is, he never came at me like, you need to salute me, or you need to. He knew that I was serious. And he looked me in the eye, and then he put his head down. He did one of these numbers. He did just like this. He went, I can't take you with me. And I said, why not? He said, because I can't out-process you fast enough. He really gave it some thought. And that's one reason why I never forgot him. Because he took me seriously. He knew that I was willing to go over there and do whatever needed to be done. I was serious about that. He knew that. And the truth is, they needed people like me. And there's a lot of soldiers who went over there who had the same thought. Yo, if I'm going out hard. That's it. Now, I never been to Iraq. I never was in war. I was in during wartime, stayed stateside. But I tried to actually go to the war simply because of my friend, and that was it. I don't glorify war. I don't glorify death. I don't glorify guns. I don't glorify hate. I don't glorify anything the Bush administration did, because they lied to us and people died because of it on both ends. And we were going over there to search for something that wasn't there, but the Bush administration knew that. They knew there was no weapons of mass destruction. And my friend, he came back, but I ETS, so I had my own set of problems. Because when I ETS, I didn't go too far. I stayed near Fort Riley. I lived in Ogden, which was right outside of Fort Riley. But I had no job, no nothing. So I couldn't concentrate on what was going on with him, because I was pretty much broke as hell. And I struggled. I'm still struggling, but not as bad. But I struggled back then really, really hard. I had to live with a girlfriend. And it was just jumping from one place to another. Every job I get just never panned out. And to make a long story short, I didn't hear from him until 20 years later. He found me on Facebook. And I talk to him every now and then, not that much. But the whole point was, it's nothing wrong with protecting your friends and your family. There's nothing wrong with looking out for them. Nothing wrong with that at all. But we got to be careful about throwing our life away, because we only get one. There's no do-over. And I was willing to throw my life away to protect my friend. And the truth is, I mean, if you my homie, I'm not gonna let nothing happen to you if it's within my power. And that's just the way I am. I'm a nobleman. I'm very dedicated to you. If I'm dedicated to you, like, you'll know that. That's just the way I am. Nonetheless, I thank God that I didn't go. I wasn't looking for glory. Like a lot of these guys come back, yeah, I was in the war. To hell with that. You went over there and killed somebody and didn't really know why. I'm glad that I didn't do that. I'm glad I never killed a man. But I was willing to. I was young. I didn't fully understand. Nonetheless, about a month later, I ETS'd out. I was done. That was it. I just wanted to share that with y'all, because people are starting to look at my videos about me being a veteran, and I don't never want to glorify war. But I will protect what's mine. I will. It's your boy Tone 202. Stay alert. Stay alive.